Hi, I'm David,
And I'm Jamie.
and today we are going to tell you about
Things you should know,
things you need to know
you need to know when cruising out of Miami.
next.
Okay, so
All right, guys.
I think the number one thing that you should at least have an idea of when cruising out of Miami is the hotel situation.
It's important
It's
because
important.
we always advocate that no matter what cruise port you're going to, I mean, unless you happen to live within an hour or two of the cruise port,
Yeah,
you should arrive,
the day before.
the day before.
That is definitely the most ideal situation. If you arrive the day before, you do not need to worry about if you're flying in. You do not need to worry about whether or not your plane has mechanical difficulties, if there's a weather issue. So,
Yeah, planes get delayed, flights get canceled.
and you don't want to miss your whole cruise because of a mechanical issue with a plane.
Yep.
So, just break down, go in the day before, make that part of your vacation.
Yeah, I mean, it extends your vacation.
It extends your vacation. You can do sightseeing, you can try out restaurants in the area. Make it part of your vacation,
Yeah.
make it part of the fun.
We strongly suggest that to everybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody we talk to, we can't stress that enough.
For sure.
Especially if you're flying, or if you're driving from
Even
like
if you're driving, you might have car issues.
Right. I mean, if you're driving from 6, 8, 10 hours away, even.
Yeah, because if you have
Right.
car issues, if there's a crazy traffic jam, if there's multiple accidents, you never know. If you leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, you may not be there on time for the
Yep.
ship. So
We always advocate.
leave the day before. Don't leave anything to chance.
Yep.
So the hotel situation in Miami, it's going to depend on what you're looking for. So if what you're looking for is a good price in a decent area, close to the airport, my suggestion, well, close to the airport and closer to the port, my suggestion is going to be the Blue Lagoon area.
Yes.
That is where we have historically stayed pre-cruise.
Mm-hmm.
It is a nice area. It's clean. It's safe.
Mm-hmm.
The hotels are all good rates. All of them are nice hotels with good reviews.
Relatively inexpensive for Miami.
Relatively inexpensive for Miami. And now if there's something going on in the area, I have seen the rates kind of bump up in that area, but they're going to be bumped up everywhere.
Right.
So in comparison to other places in Miami, usually good rates.
Mm-hmm.
Walkable, all the hotels are walkable to restaurants, grocery stores, even a Burlington department store. If you've forgotten a swimsuit or something, they're going to have it at Burlington. Did I say restaurants?
Restaurants, yes.
Restaurants.
Convenience stores,
Convenience
drugstores.
Drugstores. You can walk to everything. It's literally like practically across the street from almost any hotel in the Blue Lagoon area.
Yeah.
So that is our number one suggested or most liked place for us to stay.
Also, I think all of those hotels have a free shuttle that go to the airport to pick you up.
To pick you up. So you don't have to worry about paying for a shuttle or hopping on the metro or anything like that to actually get to
From
your
the
hotel.
airport, yeah.
From the airport to get to your hotel.
And I think, I know every hotel we stayed at there had a shuttle that went to the port if you choose to go that route. Now, those do cost.
Yeah, and I think both of the hotels that we've stayed at in the Blue Lagoon area, for the shuttle, it was like $20 per person
Yeah.
to get to the port, which the port is 15 to 20 minutes away depending on traffic.
But we're going to talk about it more later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more later, and I think our suggestion is not necessarily to use the transport shuttles.
Right.
Second area that we would be talking about is going to be the downtown Brickell, Biscayne Bay area. That's going to be closest to the port. There you're not going to find really as much as far as like a grocery store or a department store. They do have the Bayside Marketplace, and you're going to have kind of tourist prices.
Right.
For the restaurants that are located there and the stores that are located there. They have like a Sunglass Hut, that type of thing. and you're going to kind of have more of a tourist price than a resident price.
But they do have like CVS.
They do
and
have a
Walgreens.
couple of CVS's, a Walgreens in that area. The hotels are a little more expensive than they would be closer to the airport. But on the flip side of that, you're probably not going to pay as much for transportation to the port.
Right.
So just depending, and you get water views with several of the hotels.
Yeah, some of them.
So you would actually be able to see kind of the intercoastal waterway
Mm.
in those hotels. So if you're wanting that kind of vibe, then that would probably be a good area for you. The third area is going to be kind of, we're going to tell you, you probably want to stay away from South Beach just because it's price prohibitive.
I mean, unless money's no option.
Unless money's
then-
no option, but if you're trying to do it on a particular budget, you don't want to spend some kind of crazy rates. South Beach can get a little out of hand with the rates for their hotels,
Sure.
especially. You have to understand if you're going to stay on South Beach, you're not going to be in a new hotel. They don't have new hotels there. All of their hotels are like original to the 50s and 60s, and it may be remodeled, but it's going to be smaller and older.
Yeah.
So if you want an ocean view, we suggest that you go a little bit further north of South Beach to Mid Beach.
Yeah. And when we say a little bit further, I mean, it's literally like half mile.
Yeah, it's really not
We,
that far.
we stayed in Mid Beach 6 weeks ago when we went on the Carnival.
No, we
Horizon.
actually stayed in South Beach.
Well, it was kind of on the edge of Mid Beach.
Well,
South Beach.
it was on the edge, but
Right.
it was technically South Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Mid Beach, you can actually get some really good deals. There's a Best Western Plus there that's a really nice Best Western. It's directly on the ocean, and they have some really good rates, and breakfast is included. So
Yeah.
Mid Beach is good if you're wanting oceanfront at a decent price.
Yeah.
If you don't care about the price, then South Beach might be for you. Then the fourth area, we haven't actually stayed here. I have heard tons of good things about the area, and that's going to be Doral. Doral is west of the airport,
So you got to go further away from the cruise.
further away from the cruise port. So when I looked at it the other night, it could take anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes on toll roads to 40 to 45 minutes on non-toll roads to get to the port. So that might extend your fees for any kind of transportation to the port.
Most likely will.
So that's a consideration. But I've heard great things about the Doral area. They have a lot of newer hotels at really decent rates. We've just not chosen to stay there because of the fact that it is further from the port.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all about the hotels. And the next thing is going to be transportation options to the Port of Miami.
Yeah. And this is, I see, I mean, I see a lot of people who take shuttles. And don't get me wrong, if you like to take shuttles, more power to you. But if you're trying to vacation on a budget and you're trying to save money anywhere you can, you might really want to consider looking at your Uber or your Lyft app.
Well, and not only budget minded, but I don't necessarily like to be crammed on a shuttle where somebody else is deciding how long I have to wait for the shuttle to be full.
I know. I hear stories about all the time. You know, people say they sat on the shuttle for an hour waiting for the shuttle to get full, or they sat waiting for a shuttle for an hour that never came.
Or the shuttle was supposed to show up but never came, and and for me, I'm not a huge. I don't like a lot of people necessarily around me, so especially people I don't know. So for me, shuttles are not always an ideal situation. I kind of prefer having the personal vehicle taking me to where I'm going. So for me, Ubers and Lyfts, just for that reason, are my preference. But then when you start talking about the money,
it seems to be cheaper.
It seems to be cheaper. Like when we went this last time, it would have been $20 each.
Right.
So that would have been $40 to go from our hotel
in the Blue Lagoon area.
In the Blue Lagoon area to the Port of Miami.
Right.
But it was like $17 for a lift.
Right.
For both of us.
And that's a private car. Just me.
A private car, just me and you. So that was that's like $23 savings
Right.
on what it would have cost. And $23 is not something to,
No.
shake your head at.
And yeah, exactly. And like you said, we were able to pick when we wanted to go.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to stand around waiting for a shuttle or waiting for it to get full.
Yeah. And we got to talk to a local.
Right.
Who can tell us about the area. And
we always like to meet new people. So
love it. So that was, I think, in our opinion, an Uber or a Lyft, not only is it a better decision budget-wise, but it's probably more comfortable for everyone involved.
Well, and another option, we were actually talking about this before we turned the camera on, is, if you have a larger group of people, like we went that one cruise with your parents, so there was 4 of us. So, and what we did, it was the same thing. We could have took a shuttle for $20 a person. It would have been $80, but we ordered a Uber XL, which is like a large SUV, and so all 4 of us, 4 adults,
and all of our luggage,
with all of our luggage, and your mom packs more than you do, which
yes, she does.
is surprising, but so all 4 adults with plenty of luggage, all fit fine, and it was like $35.
Yeah, and we just split it between us.
Right, we split it between us. So it still worked out to be $17 bucks a couple.
And so that was $35 versus $80 that it would have been to take the shuttle. So
again, substantial savings.
Substantial savings.
But it's just something we want to throw out there for you guys. If if you're looking for ways to save money, or you're just kind of like us and you're just not a big fan of shuttles because you don't want to be on somebody else's time when you're on vacation, check out your Uber or your Lyft app.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then the next thing is going to be, and this is really specific to Carnival, but I think would benefit you no matter what cruise line that you're on. But I'm kind of leaning it more towards Carnival because of our last experience at the Port of Miami.
Sure.
It literally took us from the time we stepped our foot on the pavement out of our lift to the time we were on the ship in the atrium bar having a Fun Ship Special was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We didn't have Faster Than Fun.
Nope.
We were just regular old people getting on that ship. Yep. And I think a big part of that, and I actually heard some of Carnival staff talking about it, was if you have all of your cruise docs on carnival.com on your planner prior to getting on the cruise, if all of that stuff has already been filled out completely, 100%, it's going to make it faster for you. You will not have to stop and talk to any kind of agent. They will literally get you through security, scan you in once you get to the main terminal area, and when they scan that little thing and they see that you're 100% document approved, they literally just point and say, get on the ship.
Yeah, it was like, if you've ever flown before, it was kind of like going through, an airplane. I mean, you go through security, they scan your thing, and you walk on the ship.
That's all it was. Nobody stopped us and asked to see our passports. Nothing.
We didn't have to give any information.
Nothing. Like, they already had everything approved from when we put everything in prior to the fact. So we actually saw people who did not have all of their documentation completed on carnival.com. They were stopped and brought off to the side to speak to a representative. So just a suggestion, if you want to make it faster without paying for Faster to the Fun,
make sure you got all your stuff filled out, all your
everything.
All your credit card information in.
In, your passport information in, all of that. Make sure all that's done, and you're going to be on that ship lickety-split.
You zoom right in.
And the next thing is going to be on debarkation. When you get off the ship, as you are heading off that awesome little glass tunnel into the terminal, make sure that you have your identification, whatever it may be, passport or ID and birth certificate. Make sure that you already have it out in your hand, ready to be shown to the customs agents that are going to be at the bottom of the escalator. Because it doesn't take very long to walk through the terminal and get on that escalator, and when you get to the bottom, they're literally right there at the bottom of the escalator. You turn a little U-turn, and they're right there. And we already had ours pulled out, although I had the little machine didn't recognize me, so I had to go off to the side, but
It didn't recognize your face.
it didn't recognize my face, but it recognized him, and he was able to literally just walk.
Famous. I have a famous face.
I'm saying literally too much. He was able to just walk right off of the ship, right through the customs agent. They scanned his face. It took him less than 5 minutes from the time we got out of the glass tube to the time he was waiting in the baggage area.
Yeah.
For our bags.
Yeah. And we saw too many people trying to dig through their purse or their
while they were already
carry-on
there,
bags.
and then you're holding up the rest of
Yeah.
the line. It's not only taking it longer for you, it's taking longer for everybody who's behind you. So just go ahead and have that ID ready and show it to them and have your face scanned, and boom, done.
Yep.
Last thing.
Ooh, this is a good one. And
we have done this ever since our very first cruise. We actually were quite lucky in the fact that his parents had cruised quite a bit before we ever went on our first cruise. And this is something that they always did.
Yeah, they told you, if you don't do anything else,
do this.
do this.
And we kind of didn't believe them.
I was like,
But now we definitely believe them.
It's true.
It's true. Use a porter. When you are in the terminal and you are getting your bags, if you want to get out of the terminal to the outside of the terminal to wherever it is you're going, whether it be a shuttle or whatever, grab a porter.
And this is true not just for, this is true in Miami. This
Every
video is about Miami.
Every terminal that we have ever been at, and I think the best time was at the Port of New Orleans. We had this happen where it was a madhouse, and everybody was waiting in customs, and the lines were crazy long. And I remember you handed that porter some money, and he threw our bags on the little cart.
He said, "Follow me."
He said, "Follow me," and we skipped. I'm talking lines, multiple lines of more than 100 people.
He's just walking through. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, pardon me. Just walking around people, through lines,
and straight through customs.
Yep.
Like, we didn't even stop at customs. We literally, he said, "Pull your passport out." We pulled our passport out, and the custom agent, we might have stopped for maybe 3 seconds. He looked at our passport and he said, "Go ahead."
Yeah.
Because we were with a porter.
Yeah.
So if there's nothing else you do, if there's nothing else that you want to take advice from us, no matter what port you are at, no matter what terminal you are at, use a porter. You tip them $1 to $2 a bag.
Yeah, I typically give them a $10 bill. We have usually four bags. So I give them a 10, and like I said,
and they
the best
are
$10.
Amazing. The best $10
you'll spend on your cruise.
Ever spend, because they will get you through the chaos and the craziness.
Yep. All right, so I think that's everything you need to know
about cruising out of Miami.
Yeah, about the Port of Miami and cruising out of there.
In there, out there?
In there, out there, out there, in there?
Miami.
All right, so if you like this video, please make sure you give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and click the subscribe button. And if you have already, thank you very much. Thank you for the support.
Thank you so much.
We certainly appreciate it.
And comment. If you like the video, put that thumbs up. Comment below. Let us know that you like what we're doing. Give us the encouragement we need, because we want to know that you like what you're seeing, that we're doing a good job. If we need to make changes, if there's something else you'd rather see.
Yeah, or if you have any questions about the Port of Miami, Carnival Horizon, Norwegian,
cruising in general. We've been on several cruises, and
we've been out of several ports all over the country.
Yeah.
So, just drop any questions you have down there. Also, I'll put it above our heads right here, like I always do. Come by the Facebook page, join the group. You can you can ask questions there, make comments, leave suggestions, whatever there as well. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
The Facebook page is growing. You could be a part of it. All right. So, until the next time.
Until the next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.